All right, we're live. Friday night edition. You guys have been coming here for years. After every round of the majors, come to Brian Kirshner's page. Me and a friend will go over the round that just occurred. And, John, also known as PGA Town, is my good friend and someone I really wanted to have on to discuss the Masters live, not on a pod a week later. I just felt like it was a good thing to do. So I'm glad you were able to join us tonight.
Of course, I've been joining for years as a listener, so it's nice to be here with my major Masters debut with you on. Is this considered Tap and Birdie or what sort of enterprise are we on today?
It's not. It's not Tap and Birdie. It's not. This is like Brian Kirshner and Co. LLC kind of vibe tonight.
It's an independent venture.
Yeah, it's just something I want to do. Something I want to talk about because we are we're voices in the industry. People care about us, to a certain extent. So like, why can't we talk about the Masters and what happened? We're no different than No Laying Up or like, some of these bigger golf podcasts. We deserve a voice in the industry and to speak our thoughts.
Yeah, and I don't really speak my thoughts ever, so I just write my thoughts. So anytime you offer me to come on this massive platform, it's an easy yes.
I mean, absolutely. I know normally right now, because I know you would be, prepping for RBC right now. You would be riding it up, maybe a little movie night with the fiance. You pull up your laptop, check out the field. I couldn't give less of a fuck about the RBC. Great field, though. Great field, though. Honestly, it's going to be a good week next week.
I actually have not looked at the field yet. All I need to know is whether Joaquin Niemann is in the field because he personally guaranteed me that he would win. So
that is the easiest bet you will make in your whole life is Joaquin Niemann outright next week. There is there's nothing you can do. You absolutely 100% have to bet Joaquin Niemann outright next week. He sent you a personalized cameo saying he loves that course. I mean, just that's it. That's
100%. Yeah. And part of the reason I didn't bet him this week, I did bet him first round leader, but I faded him after that because it is a bit of a look ahead spot for him where he's got the RBC on his mind. Yes. He's just tuning up at Augusta, but he's been fine. He'll probably test out some shots, maybe hit a couple less than drivers over the weekend, I would imagine, because the Heritage is really his major. So I would target against him. I don't know if we're going to talk about weekend betting strategy because I don't really bet mid round, but I would try to target against him because we know where his mind is at for next week.
I'll say it's been 35-1. So that is the easiest bet to make next week. Let's talk about the easiest bet to make for the Masters. Scottie Scheffler outright at 18-1. I know this might not come across this way, but I'm pretty level-headed when people like go on runs and win, and I never get too upset. But laying down after work, having a couple beers, like trying to enjoy my afternoon and just see Scottie Scheffler fucking blitz the field and put on some of the most fantastic golf I've seen since Colin Morikawa at the Sunday at the Open Championship. It hurt. It hurt me. Did it hurt you, John?
It's tough to process because Scottie still doesn't feel to me like this dominant force who, when he's at the top of the leaderboard, you just like turn the page and it's over. And he's world number one. He like deserves to be world number one, but I still know the Scottie that's been in contention and just like folded and not been able to close the deal. Even when he won at the Waste Management, he had like a very easy, very makeable putt on 18 that he didn't hit. And it went to playoff instead of him winning outright before that. And I was like, oh, it's same old Scottie. Like he's not going to be able to close it out. So we're not that far removed from that. I don't believe that he's like automatically switch gears to a dominant force that's going to win every tournament from here until forever. So I don't think it's over. He has a 5-stroke lead over like 4, 5, 6 other guys at -3. I don't think it would be crazy for him to not have the outright lead after tomorrow. I think it's definitely in the range of possibilities he could shoot 2 over. Somebody at the top shoots 3 under, and then we've got a share of the lead going into Sunday.
I completely disagree with you 1000%.
You think it's over?
It is absolutely over. Like, I don't see a world in which he loses this golf tournament. Now, if this was Scottie Scheffler that didn't win 3 of his last 5 starts, different story. Like, I think it's a completely different story. But the way he's been playing over the last 2 months, and now he has a 5-shot lead over the field. And, you know, a few of the guys at -3 have literally a 0% chance to win this golf tournament. So Charles Schwartzel, you could just throw him out the bag, like whatever. It's so frustrating to me because I want, and I think a lot of people want to have a feeling that they can hit an outright this week. And a lot of people might have a lot of guys in the top 10 or at -3 or at -2. And they feel a little bit hopeless because Scottie just absolutely blitzed the field on the back 9 today.
Yeah, he did, and he did it with his short game. I'm just looking at like the stats now,
Yeah.
and I'm on Data Golf, and I guess the numbers are accurate. Like it's weird how you like pulled the strokes gain this week, but just by watching him, it looked like he was really off target on approach, especially on the par 5s, but he was just getting up and down from everywhere, and he was hitting everything from like 10 feet. So doing it that way, I feel like is not the most sustainable. Like it's not like he's firing at pins all week. And now he's the leader. He's definitely going to be playing in one of the last 2 groups for the next 2 days. So he's going to be in the firm conditions. I don't really know what the weather's going to do, but there's factors against him that I haven't given up yet. Obviously, I'm partial to Sungjae Im. I still have that outright, so I'm biased and rooting for him. But even with that said, I'm not handing it to Scottie yet.
I'm glad we can disagree on this because I am at the point. I'm texting Andy before. I don't know if he'll listen to this. He might. And he's not even like watching. And he's like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, chill out. Like, Scottie, it's like, it's fine. Like, it's okay. And I'm not hyperbole right now. He said Russell Henley blew a 5-shot lead on the back 9 at the Sony. And I said, that is the worst comparison you can make in the entire world. That is not a comparison. You can't compare Russell Henley to anyone.
Russell Henley is in his own class. That is
he's
correct.
In his own class. You can't just say he did that, so Scottie's not going to win. But like, I think part of it is me having a large outright on Shane Lowry, having an outright on Cam Smith, who played absolutely horrible today, having an outright and an each way on Will Zalatoris, JT2. So like, it's more just for me, like, I just wish Scottie was at like -5 or -4. And then it's like, okay, I'm going into the weekend and like, I legitimately have a shot, but I feel like he's ripped every single like ounce of thought that I could hit an outright this week just out of my heart. And I'm seriously debating throwing $400 on him to, I already have a side wager with Andy. We have $100, Scottie Scheffler versus the field. I have Scottie. I'm debating throwing $100 on Scottie Scheffler outright right now. Like, I'm very much debating it because I don't think I can handle myself over the weekend if I do not have exposure to Scottie outright.
Well, I got to say this too. I loved Scottie in all the research this week, and I was deciding between him and JT and Rahm. I was going to bet one of those 3. And the only reason I didn't bet Scottie is because I knew there was like a 30-1 number, like not that many weeks ago. And I was like, I'm not betting this at a number that I know I could have gotten months ago. I'm late on it, so I'm just giving up on the ticket. Yeah. Do you ever do that? Do you ever, like, in the futures, do you see a guy who you're like, I missed the boat on the number? Like, if I bet him before he won, I would I would have hopped on them, and I'm not going to do it now.
I mean, I think it's a little bit different with Scotty. Like, hand up, I said I feel like I liked him way more at a PGA US Open type major. He's obviously was unbelievable in the majors last year. I'm not even going to rehash it or anything because I fucking said it in July and now everyone's understanding. The Masters was not a place where I was like absolutely like put him in for it. But at the same time, I said on Tap and Birdie, I literally said I like Scotty as a DraftKings play. And everyone's talking about how Bones has been such an asset for JT at Augusta. He has fucking Bubba Watson's caddy on the bag. I don't know if you know this. He won 2 green jackets. And he's playing the best golf in the world. Now, betting someone at 18-1 is a completely different story. I was never betting Scotty outright this week. I think more of my frustration comes that I want my guys that I have outright, that I have a lot of guys in the top 10. I want them to have an actual chance to win. And he's just ripped my heart out with the fact that he legitimately got every single ball up and down on the back 9 and made every single putt.
I know it's very frustrating to watch. What would you put his over under what he's going to shoot tomorrow?
I would say he shoots 2 under. Like, I don't think it's a situation where now Scotty can't handle being in the final group. I just think that his game is too good right now. And it's like this. If he didn't win the last 3 of his 5 starts, like it's a completely different conversation. But this guy knows how to win. He knows how to hit pressure putts. He knows how to get every single thing up and down. We talked about like he's extremely long off the tee. He's really good with his long irons. And then obviously we always talk about short game here. And he has unbelievable short game. Like I literally heard someone say, I'm questioning Scotty's short game at Augusta. Like, please take that back and say you were wrong. That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. He has an unbelievable short game.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like a touch guy too. Like he loves coming to these places where you can try out different shots. And he's, from what I've heard, he's a guy who spends all of his practice time like around the greens and doesn't hit that many range shots. So it's a perfect setup for him, like for all those reasons. This is the type of course that suits him really well. And you said Ted Scott's on the bag. So it makes sense why he's here. I think you mentioned this too. Like, I think we both played him a lot in DFS. He was like 5% owned in some of the contests I was in. I know he's the top price player, but like, I'm feeling pretty good about that. But yeah, from an outright perspective, it's daunting, but I feel like we should do some sort of wager here because you're very high and giving him the tournament. And I think he's going to come back down to earth tomorrow. I think he's shooting over par tomorrow. I put the line there.
Yeah.
72.
I'm fine to take that with you.
You want to take the under? I'll take the over.
So we both have jobs. We both got money. I'm down to do $100 side wager on his over under round tomorrow. If you want it lower, that's fine. I already got 100 with Andy on if he wins or not. So I want some exposure with my friends.
71.5.
Yeah, that's
you'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Okay.
Like it's fine. The whole podcast is not going to be about Scotty. You know, I've kind of gotten my thoughts out, and I'm going to have to make a real adult decision as like I have like how are your DFS lineups? Because look, it's Friday night, but I have some really nice 6 of 6s in some contests, and I'm feeling good about my DFS chances for the weekend. How about yourself?
I feel pretty good. It was a tough week to get 6 of 6. So many chalk guys crashed. So I'm in the $3.20 max with 30,000 people in it. And I'm in 30th in that one with my best lineup. Listen to this lineup. Scotty, Sung Jae, Lowry, Neiman, Woodland, and Nakajima. Last 2 missed the cut. So I'm fucked there.
You were like, right.
It's literally a perfect lineup for those first 4.
Yeah, but like when you jam all those guys in, you got to get some scrubs in there. So I I like almost every single lineup I made. Like it wasn't that. It's not that hard. It wasn't that hard to get a 6 out of 6 this week. Like it, right? Am I mistaken? It wasn't that. It was like a pretty high 6 of 6 percentage. Like
I
it
mean,
wasn't.
like Xander missed the cut.
Yeah, no.
Woodland was popular.
So in the $100 single entry, I'm in 14th right now, but I have a 6 of 6, and I went through a lot of guys don't. So my 6 out of 6 in the $100 single entry is DJ, Zalatoris, Lowry, Leash, Siwoo. I love you. He had the round of the fucking day today. He made the fucking cut, and Bobby Mack. So a lot of guys like don't have 6 out of 6s in this. Some do, but that was like my lineup. Like that was my $100 single entry. That was my $33 single entry. That was like a few $12. So, I don't play for high stakes, but I got a 6 out of 6 through on the weekend in the $100 single entry. So like I'm ready to vibe. Like
That's
I'm ready to
huge.
go. And I'm just upset. Like it like I said it a million times, but it's just upsetting that Scotty has created such a advantage where if this was a normal tournament and he was -5 or -4, we both like have guys at -3. I have Lowry, you have Sanjay. It's just like you would feel so much better about it.
Yeah, definitely would. Like you're asking for a lot now on Saturday. Like if Scotty doesn't come back down to the field, you're screwed. Or you need another like 5 under round from one of your -2 or -3 guys to have a chance to stay in it. But no, 6 of 6 is good this week. I'm looking at the guys who missed the cut. Like Brian Harman was pretty popular. Sam
Yeah.
Burns was pretty popular. Koepka and Spieth were like two of the most popular.
Yeah.
Xander
So
two, Answer, List was fairly popular. Justin Rose, Gary Woodland, like that's a lot of people that
no,
are on
I'm feeling good. And usually I'm like the screenshot Thursday guy, like I got the nuts. And then it just like kind of dwindles over the weekend. But like whatever, I'm driving with the 6 of 6. Enough about us. We got to talk about Tiger. I mean, betting him to make the cut was extremely easy money. And it feels okay. So I think we're similar in a sense that we kind of have gotten into this space post Tiger. We were never, big into betting and DFS when Tiger was at the peak of his powers or even just like winning the 2019 Masters. Like we've kind of been in it post pandemic a little bit, and Tiger hasn't really been a big storyline. And then it's just like Masters Week shows up and it's like, oh, he's like in the top 20. Like you could look at his strokes gained numbers, like you're seeing him on TV. Like, doesn't it feel a little bit weird to you?
I don't know. I guess I've never like written about Tiger because I started the website in the beginning of 2021. But when I was just posting pics on Twitter, I caught the end of 2020 when he was playing in like the Zozo and stuff like that.
Yep.
He's like impossible to handicap because the ownership's never going to be right and the odds are never going to be right. And it's, if you fade him, you're playing guys who are like in better form than he is now. And you would think that the quality of golfers now has improved to a point where he can't beat them while playing injured,
Yep.
like he could in, the early 2000s when he's playing on like a broken leg, but it didn't matter because he was Tiger. Like the talent is there now that an in-form healthy golfer should be beating Tiger Woods. And that's like happening. Like he's top 20. I would have said top 20 cap on Tiger. Like I don't think he could have finished better than like a 20th. That's where he is right now. I would expect that he fatigues over the course of the weekend. Like the leg's not going to get any better. So I think he's going to like continue to sort of dwindle down day by day and maybe finish like top 35 is where I'll guess he'll finish at. I don't really think he's going to be in contention. Definitely not with Scheffler doing what he's doing. So if I didn't do any Tiger bets, if I did, I probably would have just done a make the cut bet just because it's fair. It's easier than normal to make the cut here. And he looked physically fit and he's saying that he can walk the course, but that's not the problem with Tiger is over 4 days. That's a concern. Over the first 2 days, you think
Exactly.
he's good. So that's why I think he was a good made cut bet, but I'm not expecting much for the rest of the
Yeah, no,
tournament.
I mean, he is like, I don't care what people say. He has no shot to win this tournament because no one has any shot to win this tournament. But like, it was just like, I agree. Like, I would have never advised anyone to be like, yeah, bet him top 10, bet him top 20, bet him outright. But I would have said, bet him to make the cut. And I think a lot of people did. Like, I really think like books must have felt that on Tiger making the cut because giving it a plus money, like, it was just kind of a ridiculous line giving the field and the amount of people and just experience. And like, I'm not going to go into like me being a Tiger hater. I'm not. It's an erroneous take. It's absolutely erroneous on both counts. But I could have been like, no, I'm fucking sticking to it. He's going to miss the cut. Fuck him. He sucks. But I was like, I'm hearing the reports from the ground. Like, it's Tiger Woods at Augusta. Like, I'm not going to fade him in any regard. So I'm glad he made the cut. And, it's great to see. And the coverage, it's fine. It's not anything that much different, in my opinion, with him playing. Like, yeah, you get to see him every shot, but like, I want to see it. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm fine. And he just brings so many people into the sport. And if more people are watching the Masters, if more people are wagering on golf because Tiger's in it, I'm all for it because like we're some of the biggest proponents of betting on golf because it's literally the best sport to bet on because on a random fucking Thursday, you can hit a 70-1 bet by just tailing my boy PGA tout. So I want to give you some credit. I want to give you some respect because I think a lot of people were low on Sungjae because his form coming in here was not great, but he had that second place finish at the 2020 Masters, and he's a talented fucking golfer, and it was just a great call. And you are officially like the first round leader guy. Like, there's just no debate about it.
It's weird the run that I've been on the last 2 years because I'm like way more profitable in first round leaders than any other bet that I place, and it's like the least thing I put any research into. Like my process of picking first round leaders is literally Wednesday night. I go to the sports book, I scroll to 60, and then I start there and I start going down and I look who's there. Can this guy make birdies? And is that price right? That's literally the thought process. So it's so ridiculous that this is the way that I make the most money betting golf. But yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have been priced that long.
I agree.
He shot 66 the first time he played this course. Even if he doesn't have that many reps under him, it doesn't matter for him. He can go low. You have to score on the par fives if you're going to be the first round leader. We know he's going to go for all of them in two. Really good with his long irons. Hits a lot of putts. Like, love Sungjae, easy guy to root for. Still have the outright. Went out to Momofuku last night. That was a coincidence. But a very nice Korean meal, which I celebrated with some of my work friends to commemorate that first round leader, because a lot of the guys at work also tail my pick. So it was a very good night. We did karaoke. We're feeling just fine. Today would be feeling a little bit better if Scotty didn't go off, but we're celebrating Sungjae, rooting for him the next 2 days.
Yeah, like that's the thing about first round leader bets. Like, I really don't hit many first round leader bets. I mean, I literally posted my first round leader card and I said these will not hit because I've had someone be like, what the fuck? Like, these didn't hit. I'm like, dude, they're fucking first round leader bets. Like, they're the most unpredictable thing to pick. But I mean, I just like on first round leader bets to like bet guys basically you think will play well but won't win. Like, just guys that can like just get hot in like one round. Like, that's just like kind of like how it goes. Like,
yeah, no, that's exactly how I do it. It's all the guys who I'm like, sets up well for this course. This guy can't win. Like JJ Spawn, bet him first round leader at Valero. That's who I thought he was. Like, good course fit, has never won before, has been on tour forever. Like, he's not going to win this tournament. I'll bet him first round leader. And he wins. But, that stuff happens sometimes.
Yeah, shout out Andy, our good friend, hitting him at 210-1. Very impressive. We're all very proud of you. And we love you. And we appreciate your contributions to this industry. So, as we've talked about, obviously, the main two storylines. But, like, I I was asked to do a lot of content this week, and I was asked to put out mortgage plays. I was asked to put out locks. Like people, I said this to start every podcast. I'm like, the Masters week is the week when all the casual fans come in and want Masters locks. We do this every single week. So it's like, it has a little bit more like I want to hit my 2 plays for the Masters because I'm giving it to a lot of people, so I like them. So my 2 absolute mortgage plays, I gave them out on every single one, was Shane Lowry top 20. Now, I'm a Shane Lowry stan. Like, I'm a Shane Lowry stan. I got an 80-1 on him. I'm gonna have like $300 on him. Top 20. And I told everyone to bet it. And I went on a bunch of and I said bet it. He's T3 right now, like unbelievable round.
Great day
like,
today.
I think that's why I'm so mad, because it's just like Shane Lowry 80-1. Like I got a couple bucks on it, like more than a couple bucks on it. Like no, it doesn't matter. Scotty Scheffler. And then Zalatoris, like, I don't know if you listened last night. It's fine if you didn't. I know you were busy, but I've had a realization, John. I'm betting Zalatoris every single event he plays until he wins.
But you're betting him to win, not just top 20.
Yeah, to win.
Did you bet him to win this week?
Yep, I have an each way on him. So like,
right.
And I said under my tweet, I said I do not advise betting Will Zalatoris to win without an each way, because I don't think he'll win, but I think he can cash the each way. And I mean, he's right there, and
he's in it.
I'm so like, am I crazy for just blindly, like, I don't know if he's playing next week. I will not bet him at RBC. Like, you got me there. Will Zalatoris is not winning the RBC, nor is he any sort of fit. But anytime it's a semblance of a fit, I will be betting Will Zalatoris, because he's just too talented not to have won an event this year. And I think I'm a little bit Scotty biased, but he's just too fucking talented, man.
Well, I can confirm he's not in the field next week, so he is also aware that he's not going to win at RBC.
Would never win that event.
And Mito's in the field, and I'm betting him again. So I'm not going to talk you out of betting the same guy every single week, because that's literally what I do. But yeah, I like Mito next week. Like, I think it could happen.
I kind of wanted this to be like a half Masters recap, half RBC. No, because like I'm not kidding. Like RBC IMO is just like kind of like a little bit easier event to handicap, in my opinion.
It is. It
because
actually
it's
is.
just like a very much so just like Sony, Wyndham, RSM vibe, like just ball strikers, like mid-iron wedges, like very tight course. So Russell Henley's in the field. He'll be on the card next week. Like Russell Henley, chalk week incoming. I'm down. Like, I am so down. Absolutely. 100%. So I know I want to talk about Jon Rahm a little bit with you. I don't want to talk about Jon Rahm because I want to shit on him. I don't want to talk about Jon Rahm because he sucks. He's kind of like, I saw a tweet before and I loved it. And it was like, Scotty Scheffler is everything that Jon Rahm thought we would think he would be. Do you agree with that? Like, people are going to keep saying we're being premature on Scotty, and he will be putting on the green jacket Sunday. And it's just like, okay, can we stop with that now? Because Rahm, he's been a big disappointment this year.
Yeah, well, the role of a world number one is to contend every single week, and Rahm didn't do that. And he didn't do that for so many events in a row that he got surpassed by a guy who hadn't won a tournament until a few weeks ago. So, yeah, I mean, we would have hoped that Jon Rahm would get out to this blazing start in every tournament he played in to justify the world number one. But at the same time, it was a golden age of golf betting because he was so short odds, Jon Rahm, every single weekend. You didn't really have to worry about him winning because he was never like seriously in contention from start to finish. So you had Rahm at 6-1 odds, which made everybody else's odds much longer. And it was a great time to bet golf. now when we have like, are they going to put Scotty at single digits? If he wins the Masters, you have to. But he's not a guy that you think of like, oh, Scotty Scheffler's in this field. I got to bet the without Scotty Scheffler market, like we almost got to that point with DJ last year. I mean, you're basically at that point. If Scotty wins 4 events and 7 starts, whatever it is, it's like, okay, this guy's legit. But yeah, Rahm, he didn't live up to it at that point. He's still young. He could get back to world number 1, hit some putts and, take that spot back. It's not like it's just Scotty's now. It's wide open. But yeah, I mean, Scotty's actually filling the role of world number 1 very well in his first tournament.
Yeah, I think that there was some sort of like, kind of like the curse of world number 1. Like you just never do it. And then if Scotty wins this week, then he will just give a big fuck you to Dustin Johnson and Jon Rahm, who I don't know when DJ became world number 1, but he did not go on this run, and he quickly lost world number 1. And then John you would know this. Was he world number 1 before he won the US Open?
I think he was. Pretty sure. I think it went from DJ to Rahm. I'm pretty sure he was world number 1 before the US Open.
Yeah. I'm not sure on that one. But Rahm, his quotes about the mud balls at Augusta, like
so ridiculous.
It's just like, what? Like, how do you say that, like, at Augusta National? Like, you're not playing at, like, a local muni. Like, it was just ridiculous. And no one else complained about mud balls. Like, it couldn't be that much of
and he
issue.
was, like, missing all the par 3s, and he was losing all the strokes putting. So, like, it didn't even make any sense.
Exactly. He's a huge hypocrite, huge baby. So, other than Scotty, so we're doing this without Scotty market. Who are you most upset with that you didn't have any exposure on and money on at the Masters, barring Scotty?
I mean, DJ and Cam Smith probably. I did the 20 max. I made way more lineups this week than I do just because it's the Masters, and I had 0 exposure to DJ or Cam Smith. And with DJ, I know he looked good in the match play, but it's like the only times he's looked like himself the past like 6 months have been the Ryder Cup and the match play. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's just like a match play thing, because there's no other tournament that he's really been like looking like himself for 4 rounds in for a long time. So I was like, okay, I don't think he's got it yet. And at least yesterday it looked like he had it. Today he kind of came back down to earth a little bit, but he's scary when he's on still. I think he'll hang around. And Cam Smith, he had 2 doubles yesterday. And besides that, he was playing perfect golf, doing exactly what he did at Sawgrass. And it's the exact same situation with Scotty, where I was like, okay, I know there was like a 40 on you. Well, you got a good number on Cam Smith earlier. And I'm like, I didn't get that on, and I don't feel good betting it at like a third of what it was. So I just didn't take any exposure to him. But I also think he was one of the chalkier DFS guys because he was in like the 9Ks for some reason. So for all of those reasons, I just had no exposure, and he's looked pretty good. I'm sure he's going to hang around this weekend.
Yeah, I'm upset with Cam Smith. Like, again, Scotty, it's all relative now, but like I was kind of not licking my chops, but I was like, look, Cam Smith, like my thing about Cam Smith is that, like, if he cashed first round leader, I would have been like, okay, you're an idiot for not betting it, because that was the perfect bet for Cam Smith at the Masters. I don't think he'll win. He just won the Players, but he's a perfect first round leader bet. And then he, made double on 18. So I think it's a little bit tough with Cam. Like, I didn't play a lot of Cam in DFS. I didn't, because just the ownership was too much. And I'm not really like that, because if you have someone that you are really fully committed in and you think they're going to play well, they will. And I tracked him pretty well today. Like, man, it's tough after his Players performance to see him putt the way that he did, because he missed so many putts, and it's just like, you expect it from him. You expect it from him. The stats are there right now. He lost almost 9-6 strokes putting.
It's insane.
That is unbelievable. And I'm never the guy to be like, oh, well, if he just putt well, he'd be in the lead. It's bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit. But he putted horribly, and it sucks because that's the thing that you think he can actually do well and, kind of hold on to after his performance at, you know, at TOC and at the Players. But then it just like, when it's off, it just irks you that much more, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he gained 11 strokes at the Players, which is absurd. I mean, is he definitively the best putter in the world? Because I kind of consider, I don't even know who I would say is second at this point. I feel like he's definitively the best putter there is.
I agree too, but then you look like he lost 2 strokes putting. Like today,
I mean, one bad round's gonna happen, especially at Augusta. Like it'll get to you, but like over the last however many rounds you want to look at, like if you need someone to hit a putt for you, I feel like it's definitely Cam Smith.
I'm just like a little bit bitter. Like I think that like just the mix of everything, just like how Cam played today, like how well Lowry played today, like that was like it was an afternoon wave. I was a little bit early. I was like, this can kind of go either way. And then he goes out and just plays unbelievable. And then like Will, like I know we talked about him before. Like he's someone for me that like anytime he makes any putt over 5 feet, I'm like over the moon. Like I am like legitimately over the moon. Like this guy will not lose an event ever. And then anytime he misses a putt inside 5 feet, I'm just like, why the hell did I ever bet this guy? And it's hard with these guys that are so, I just talked about, it's so hard with these guys that are extreme both ways, like Cam and Zalatoris, because when they don't putt well, like when Cam Smith doesn't putt well, it's just like, what is going on? And then whenever Zalatoris makes a 7-footer, I'm like, he is legitimately the best player on tour.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't watch Zalatoris. I can't sweat Zalatoris. Like if I bet him, I'm not like refreshing the shot tracker. I'll just like deal with whatever the results are.
Yeah, no, and it's tough with the Masters because you can just look at it. Like I'm tempting. Like, if he misses a 5-footer, I'm like, show me the video. Like I need to see this right now. Like pull it up right now. So we both bet JT. A lot of people bet JT. What did you think about his round? And what do you think about his overall performance in majors? Is he the new Rory? Like, what's up with Justin Thomas? Because I can tell you right now, I'm done betting him at under 20 to 1.
Yeah, so I bet him at really short odds at Century and really short odds at Valspar. And I think that's the only 2 times I've bet him this year. And like both times, Century, he was awful start round 1, amazing rounds 2 through 4. And if he just like shot even par, he would have been like a good sweat. Obviously, people were shooting over 30 under, so like didn't really matter. But I think he still finished top 5 and shot like he was like the only person to shoot over par the first day or something ridiculous like that. And then Valspar, I thought he was in it the whole time. So both times I bet him, he didn't win, and I was like, well, I still got like a decent sweat out of this, so I don't feel like I've wasted my time betting this guy. And it seems like he's going to do this again, where shoots himself out of the tournament day 1, then backdoors himself into making me think I have a chance. When I mean, he's still like 7 strokes back of Scotty, so you need Scotty to just blow up and open the thing up again. But I don't know if he shoots another 5 under tomorrow, like he did today, then all of a sudden you're going to have a chance. And he could do that. He could birdie he could probably get an eagle on one of these par 5s and clean up there and hopefully not get himself into any major issues beyond that, and he'll be in it. But I'm probably going to sucker myself into betting him a lot, and he's going to make sense at the PGA and the US Open, and everybody's going to make sense at St. Andrews. So it's like, I don't know. I'm probably going to continue to waste my money on him.
Yeah, I can't be there. I'm writing it in my notes. I'm like, I'm just done with him. And it's always like, what were you going to do? What were you going to think? Like, who are you going to bet? Like, I was always betting JT, like, it's fine. But like, it's just tough. Like it's very tough to bet someone under 20-1. Granted, I'm not even saying like, oh, we should have bet Scotty. I'm not saying that, but it's just tough in terms of the money that you have to front.
Yeah.
And like how much you have to front for it to be worthwhile for you, because when betting PGA outrights, like you want to make over $1,000, and it's just like to front $100 on someone that like easily could just shoot themselves out of it on Thursday. Like it's tough, and I'm just done with it. Like
a lot of people say with JT, just wait until after round 1, which is like becoming more and more of a thing. You'll get a better number, and you'll get him at like 20 something for the like I can't even remember the last time JT came out round 1 and like set the tone, like I don't know if it's happened. So that's probably the way to do it. It's just that I don't really bet that way, where I like reserve funds for live betting. So I'm never going to do that, but that's probably the most practical way to do it. If you ever want to bet JT, just like wait for him to get his first stupid throwaway round out of the books and then jump on him after that.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like with the players, it was just like such a community win at like such an outrageous number. Like it's stupid, but like I know this has literally no bearing on what happens, but it's just like I don't know. Like, do we have to wait for the JT drift? Like he's literally only won in the past over a year when he's drifted to a 20. Like that's it. Like that's the only time he's done it. It has nothing to do with the actual results on the golf course. And I'm not saying that, but it's just it's just tough to see. And like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was kicking myself yesterday because I wish I bet DJ over him. DJ's not winning this tournament. So it's completely moot. But I'm glad you were able to join. I just want to leave you with one question. Who are you most excited to see over the weekend and how they play and how they perform? Not Scotty.
I mean, my obvious answer is Sung Jae, because I feel like he's on like a very short list of guys who can still catch Scotty. Would love to see him win the outright. Justin Thomas, I don't know what his odds are now, but he's probably not like eliminated yet, so I'll still be like hopelessly rooting for him. I made one placement bet this week. It was Mackenzie Hughes, top 20, and he's like 35th right now, I think. So he's not dead.
With the shank.
Yeah, he survived the shank, so he somehow made the weekend. So I'll be rooting for that. I have a Taylor Gooch top debutante bet. I believe he's only trailing Harold Varner, of all people, right now. So I'll be keeping an eye for that. And I have Sung Jae top Asian, and he's tied with Hideki right now. So that's going to be the dogfight for the rest of the weekend that I'll be looking out for. I also did a top amateur bet on Kaita Nakajima, who was my only lock of the year so far. I guess I called Mito a lock at the Honda, and that was incorrect. But Nakajima was my lock of the week for top am. He ended every amateur missed the cut, but he ended up tying one other guy with the best score. So it chopped, but it's a profit on a lock.
Yeah,
so
it's tough to lose a mortgage play because you lose your mortgage. But when you tie,
you get the money. It's a small profit.
It's a small.
You didn't lose your house. You like got your house back, and you got like a basement.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, if they lose, I'll be very upset. Then I'll be really on ground zero. But look, I have 300 on Will Zalatoris and Shane Lowry top 20. I gave it to everyone, so I hope they can do that, and I'll feel smart, like I can fucking do something with my life, if they finish. And I have $100 with Andy. Tomorrow I'm fine for that 100. I'm gonna throw $200 on Scotty to win. I'm gonna do it.
Are we doing our prop?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down tomorrow. Gentleman's wager.
71.5.
71.5. Like I'm down to wager that with you. Shake on it. I'm fine with that. And then I'm gonna throw $200 more. And all these fucking people on Twitter, like, oh, all these fucking amateurs freaking out about Scotty. Like, it's fucking golf. Like, I'll see you on Sunday. I'll see you on Sunday. I will fucking quote tweet the fuck out of you, okay? Because I'm done. I am done. I've had it with Twitter. I'm sorry. I'm a little too drunk for this pod. Tout, it was an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to some golf rounds over the summer, and I wish you the absolute best in your life, in your job, in your golf betting, in your wedding planning, and just everything. So I hope you have a wonderful night, Tout.
Well, thank you, Brian. It was nice to be on this special non-tap-in birdie edition of the show with you.